Welcome back to Basement Video Podcast with your host, John, and your co-host. What's your name?
Alex.
Oh, you're looking good today, buddy.
Oh,
Look
thank
at that
you.
smile. Smile? Oh, fuck. Lady
I
killer
always
over
look
here.
good. What are you talking about?
Oh, I know.
And well, no, I was about to say and Andrew, but then I realized he pushed out. So
He doesn't like. He doesn't know much
he
about
doesn't
Star
like
Wars.
Star
But today
Wars.
we're talking about the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan.
I'm still here though, Alex.
Shush.
Andrew will still chime in if he's not
If
doing his thing.
Yeah, if you ever want to say anything, Andrew, just let us know as we're talking about Star Wars. Thing that you want.
Andrew just chimes in like 45 minutes and he's like, yeah, but Luke almost kissed his sister, guys, and then just leave.
Yeah, but he didn't. Or did he? I forget. Did he kiss?
They kissed. The people argue, they're like, that was a kiss between brother and sister.
They didn't know. They didn't know. It's okay.
I'm not going there. Anyways, what do you think of Obi-Wan?
You
as a
can
whole
do
so
a
far?
mistake, but if you didn't, whatever, fuck it.
What do you think about Obi-Wan so far, buddy?
I think it's great. To be honest, when I'm watching the show, I'm kind of like I'm thinking to myself, because you say this is like 10 years after the third movie, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Leia's like what, like 12 or something like that.
I think she would be 10 if it's 10 years after the third movie.
That's just simple math right there.
Yeah, she's born at the end of the third movie, buddy.
So it's 10 years in the future. Obi-Wan's really looks rough, man. Like,
I don't know, man, because 10 years from that point, he looks like Alec Guinness from the original
but I mean,
movies.
like, he's not eating. Like, he's so skinny. You can see.
Yeah,
like,
he's feeding
like,
his
malnourished.
Yeah, all he does is steal whatever meat that is to feed his. I don't remember what that's called.
Well, you kind of have to if the gonk machine's just going to spit out quarters at you, and that's going to be your pay.
Yeah, this is only half.
Yeah, and
it's like
he stares him down, and then he's just like, okay. And then Obi-Wan's just like, you got a problem? And he's just like, hello there, and he just walks away.
Yeah, so the first episode kind of just sets up how Obi-Wan's living, like in not exile really, but like in hiding.
He is in exile. Well, self-inflicted exile. He's doing that to himself in a way.
Well, for good reason, but yeah. So it's after Order 66. They're still hunting down Jedis and anyone that's Force sensitive. So they're just killing them. So you see how Obi-Wan's living his life. He's working under the name of what is it?
Ben Kenobi. Very subtle, by the way.
Well, that's his name in the original movies too.
No, I know, but it's still kind of funny that it's just like we don't know any Obi-Wan Kenobis, but we know about Ben Kenobi. He's not a Jedi, but he's not related in any way. But
no, but yeah. So you see, he's working a whatever like shitty job, and then he goes in town, and I think it was cool. I thought it was cool when he was talking to the Jawa. I don't know why I like that a lot.
I think I've always just loved Jawas. I think it's fun to watch Jawas be friendly and actually do business, and watch them be like thieves. And like in Mandalorian, like those Jawas just straight up took apart his ship, and then he had the Mandalorian, like the very
not
first
Mandalorian.
Episode. It is Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, well, I was gonna say I liked when they were in what's the other show? Oh, Boba Fett. When they're like talking and that girl's like, "Oh, I used to date him, Joe." Very hairy. Yeah, I just like that we're getting more of Jawa, I guess, in all these shows. And this one was funny because it's just Obi-Wan Kenobi having a full-blown conversation. Like, you can't sell me my own stuff back. He's just getting robbed by them.
And he's like, installation $10. Like, he's still trying to like
he's still
money out of him. Like, you little dirty Jawa, you.
Yeah, and then like so whatever. The Jawa leaves. It's nighttime. Obi-Wan's chilling, and then the guy that we see. I think it opens up with this kid getting tracked down by the.
No, he like finds Obi-Wan and he's like,
yeah, but we see him first.
Legend, man, and he's like, I don't fucking know you, man. Get away from me.
Yeah, but we see him already.
Yeah, he helps the poor man at the tavern because he's about to get his like head blown off, and then
and then they try to kill him, but he gets away and he's running around in the desert where Obi-Wan lives, and that's where he sees him at night.
I gotta say, for Inquisitors who are trained to hunt Jedi, for 3 of them to be there and not catch some scrawny little shaggy-looking Jedi is
and then they only catch him when he's like,
yeah. This is the thing. Is like these guys are like space wizards. They can use magic to grab things from long distances. Why don't they just like get the fuck over here? Like, just grab that guy.
Well, he's also force sensitive too, so maybe he's deflecting it. You don't know.
Maybe he's like countering it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But whatever, he gets away. But then he talks to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's just like pretty much like, Nah, bro, I'm good. I'm fucking off real quick. Like, I'm gonna just chill. I'm laying low. I don't know who Obi-Wan is. But you should probably hide though, by the way, because that's what I'm doing. And then he goes into town the next day. I thought they hung him, but I was like, oh, Disney went hard and hung that kid. But no, they didn't. They hung him technically, but not like.
Oh, like by the waist, like
yeah, they hung him like by his shoulders, like tied him up like an old western, but by like a roof,
which is kid friendly compared to later on of like how people die in the show.
That was funny though. Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that.
We'll get to the There's a bit that I'm like I literally went up to my seat and I went, yo.
Yeah, literally, I laughed so hard. It was like 3 a.m, laying in bed, half asleep, and I just saw that and I started laughing. But yeah, so he goes into town, and he does he decide not to go to work, or does he see Owen and that's why he decides not to go to work? I don't remember.
No, because before he even went to work, Owen was like, "We don't take kindly to your kind around here."
No, that was
because
Obi-Wan bought
because Obi-Wan bought the toy to Luke and
left it at Luke's house,
which is a form of
what's that called? That's a deadbeat dad vibe, eh? Where the stepdad's like, "Fuck off, stop giving the kid toy."
Well, no, but the stepdad's like, being like, I know what you're doing. You're grooming him. That's what it is called. Yeah, you're grooming. Because a lot of people are saying, like, now that they're watching these movies again, they're like, Obi-Wan's totally just, like, grooming Luke to just do what he says.
To be the Jedi,
yeah.
And it works out.
But if you ask me, what other options does Luke have? His parents just got skeletonized.
So yeah, but if you think about it, that might have not happened if Luke didn't go with Obi-Wan that day.
No. Well,
because Obi-Wan would have been watching and Luke would have been at home and they might have been able to fight
those stormtroopers were going to fuck up that place either way. So it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they were coming for Luke. They knew it was Luke, yeah.
So...
But whatever, he talks to Owen and Owen tells him
after that, literally after they done talking, the Inquisitor
No, you're missing a part.
What?
He's getting to the age where he needs to be trained, Owen.
Oh my god.
Say the line, Alex.
Just like how he trained his father.
That was so funny. Because his father's Darth Vader now.
If there was... I swear there's some guy in the background just going, oh!
Yeah, it was me while I was watching. Oh god, that was I don't know. That was mean, but like it needed to be said, I guess.
It had to be said.
Even though we know what happens with everything, and I get where Owen's coming from.
Do you think Qui-Gon is just he hates he just regrets everything when in his afterlife because now he knows that all this is his fault?
It didn't seem like that the first time he calls out to Obi-Wan in the first dream he had, but the one I don't know if it was episode 2 or 3 where it shows what Obi-Wan's thinking, why Qui-Gon won't talk to him. I don't know. I can see that he trained Obi-Wan, who trained Anakin.
I think it's funny that there's these ghost Jedis now floating around that could talk to you at any point, and it's like there's nothing stopping them from talking to you. They're just like, I need you, Master, please. Literally the guy I killed, that's my brother, he wants to strangle me. I need your guidance. And then Qui-Gon's like, what does a dead person have to? Yeah, what does a dead person have to do? Nothing. What? Get some ghost pussy?
Yeah, I'll just
some goosey.
I think we're getting Qui-Gon though in this series at some point. I feel they're teasing it too hard.
Liam Neeson's gonna be like, "I will find you."
Yeah, I will help you find him.
I will help you. Yeah,
I have a special set of Jedi skills.
grooming a child to be the chosen one, and then
they hinted. This is a little fast forward though, but while you're saying grooming a child, I guess Obi-Wan mentions that he was taken from his family real young, and mentions a brother he had.
He had a brother,
which in the original. In the original concepts of I don't know which movie, but George Lucas wanted I forget who he wanted. He wanted someone that's a main character to end up being Obi-Wan's brother. I don't know if it was Anakin. I don't remember, or Qui-Gon. One of them. He wanted one of them to end up being Obi-Wan's brother in the long run.
I think that would have been funny if his brother's name was Ben, and that's why he chose Ben in the first place.
It's probably because his name's O-B.
Oh, there's a B, therefore it's a stretch to call him Ben.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sure. All right. So, what do you think about the Inquisitors in general? How do you like them? Which ones do you like? Which ones do you think are annoying?
I'd like both of them. I like the two side ones, like the third sister and the fifth brother. Mm-hmm. The normal Inquisitor was kind of just stupid.
Let's talk about him for a second. Bring up the picture of
we'll just do all three. Just bring the last picture you said. Yeah.
So this is the same species, And
the middle and the far right are both the same character.
It's the same person, which, by the way, is confusing considering that the one in the middle is in the future, whereas the one on the right is currently has a
Obi-Wan.
Currently has a hole in his stomach right now.
He could be coming back. I'd Star Wars. They've brought people back for dumber stuff.
Yeah,
but we know he's alive, and the Clone Wars is canon, and this Obi-Wan show's canon, as far as we know of, so he has to be coming back.
Yeah. I tried looking up what his name was, and I don't know why I was having.
Oh, he does have lines in his head. You can't really tell, but
yeah, it's very like light, like they dabbed it a little bit, or
it seems like it gets like less deep of lines as the pictures go on. Like the prequels guy has them deep, the cartoon not so much.
I love the costume of the last one. I'm not crazy about the teeth. I mean, it makes sense. He's an alien, but I love what they did with the third one. The middle one for the cartoon show, they kind of like they kind of like
the third one. You mean the first one? Like the prequel guy?
The prequel guy. So in the second picture of the cartoon animated version of him, they kind of like toned down on the lines where it's not like completely covering his face. It's kind of just like
made the red on his eyes better.
Yeah, they made the they made the red better. The lines only reach out to his eyebrows and his chin.
Yep.
Whereas the new one we got, the live action, they just like I don't know what they were doing. Like
I don't mind what he looks like. They got pretty much everything perfect from the cartoon with the new guy, besides the head shape.
Yeah, but it's like
the costume's right, the markings on his face are all right. It's just the head shape is weird.
It's just like they did it right though. Like the third movie, like that. Okay, maybe not like the lines on his face. Maybe don't go too ham on that. But like,
it just looks like Thanos is a little.
The last one just looks way better in general. It looks like an alien.
You keep saying the last one, but it's the first one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The first
I just don't want people to get confused that you like the one from Obi-Wan.
You're right. No, I'm talking about the first one, the episode 3. The episode 3 paint
version
looks way better in my opinion.
It's not the same character, just the same species. Also, to clarify.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. The one in Obi-Wan might as well be perfect besides the head. Because if you look to the Clone Wars compared to that, everything's the exact same besides the head.
I guess.
Like he has the markings on his head the same. He does have lines on his head. He has the things on the side of his head. He doesn't really have that collar thing going on like the Clone Wars does, but his head's not long either. They could have just made his forehead bigger and made it look long.
Oh well.
Because obviously they have the technology. Because I think the guy from the prequels didn't have a head shape that big. And that came out in 2006.
So I was like watching and I'm listening to like the Inquisitor, like the third brother you said, or is it
no
the fifth?
Fifth brother and third sister.
Yeah. So the fifth brother. I didn't look up an IMDb who these actors were. I thought the fifth brother was Wong.
No, it's Tokyo Drift.
I know. I thought it was Wong. It looks like him and it sounds like him a little bit.
He kind of does because I haven't seen the guy from Tokyo Drift in a while. He just put on a little bit of weight, not like anything bad, but he does look like Wong.
Yeah. And so I personally don't mind the third sister. She's okay. She's kind of like
the internet's going full force racist on her.
What? Why?
Yeah, people are going like a bunch of racist garbage at her, like saying they hate her about not wanting black people in Star Wars, which is weird because there's been black people. There's been black people in Star Wars since the beginning of Star Wars.
Why are people against?
I don't know, but so many people are showing her love because of it. Like even Star Trek page, like the official Star Trek Twitter page posted like there's like their support, like there's room for everyone in all universes, including ones that aren't included in ours. Like a bunch of people, all the actors are posting like support her. She's a good actress. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Was the third sister like already shown before, and they didn't like that they made? Was she not black before?
If she's never been live. I don't think she's been.
Then I don't understand why people would care. Like
she might have been in that video game, but that was when the third sister. If she was in the video game, I'm pretty sure she was black in that too, or she looked like Darth Maul. I don't remember.
And then the only way that it would make sense is because I explained this to you before, and even you were like, "Oh yeah, what the fuck?" That Netflix
redhead thing.
That they get rid of redheads to put black people in instead, and it's just like I don't like why redheads of all things.
Yeah, just whatever.
They don't like.
But
Irish
I think
people.
let's say that's the case for this. People aren't even making about that. They're just saying
they're just being
racist. Like straightforward racist.
Man, we live in a crazy world now.
It's 2022, man. Just get along.
It seems like the farther we get down the years, we're just almost like getting worse now. Everyone's
just reverting.
Everyone wants to kill each other now. COVID made everyone so stressed out that we want to kill each other now.
I don't know. I like her character. I think it's interesting because we know the Grand Inquisitor is not dead, and if he is, that's horrible that they broke canon. But as far as we know, he's not actually dead because he's in Clone Wars. and she thinks she's going to be the next one, and we never see her really in anything else. I'm pretty sure, unless there's books or whatever. But so it means that she's probably going to have a wicked death or become good.
I don't mind her. She's like fucking crazy, but I guess that's the point. That's her character.
I like it.
She's insane. Like she wants Obi. It was kind of strange. Like, why does she have this hatred towards Obi-Wan? It seems like personal almost.
Well, I think it's more like once I get Obi-Wan, I'll be like respected and like I'll be top dog.
Oh yeah, because she's like they're treating her like gutter trash.
Yeah, because even when she comes back after the Grand Inquisitor's dead, and she talks to Darth Vader personally, and he's like, "If you get Obi-Wan for me, you'll be the next Grand Inquisitor." And then she goes back and talks to the fifth brother and whoever the other character is, and he's like, "I'm on the lead. I'm gonna get this." And she's like, "Actually, I just talked to Darth Vader, and he said I'm in charge."
You know for a fact, the moment that she told that Obi-Wan's alive and this is where he is, Anakin was just like, okay, where the fuck that bitch at? Like, I got some words for, like, I got a few words for him, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I like her character.
Yeah, that's pretty much like what happened. And then I guess it shows. Did they show the first episode, Leia, or was it the second one? No, they did. They showed her in the planet, and then the second one was like she got kidnapped.
Yeah, which the Flea. I already told you this, but Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the guy who races the truck at the end of Back to the Future. I know that's how you would know him. He's the main guy that kidnapped her.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the bassist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't remember exactly him too much. If anything, he kind of reminds me of Yondu.
Really?
I think it's kind of a stretch. I don't like.
I
said,
he's not blue.
I know he's not blue, but it's like he has that kind of like.
He's just a normal looking bald white
southern
guy.
Almost accent. Why is it that bounty hunters almost sound like they just came from Missouri or like from
You're saying it right.
Not Missouri, but like what's the other place in Florida that's like the bayous?
Neither of those are Florida.
No, I didn't.
And you're saying everything right. You're just naming different things that have the same area.
Okay, yes, then you know what I mean. Like
in the bayou.
We're gonna cook her up and then eat her
Cajun.
Up.
You're thinking of Cajun.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just because of that. It's like every time I see a bounty hunter that's like that, I just think, oh yeah, that's just Yondu, but not blue.
So yeah, I think it's the end of the first. No, we just see Leia. He doesn't know anything that's going on yet. They just show it because to build up that story that will lead to him.
The second episode. Oh, sorry.
No, go on. I was just going to explain. We see the guy from the prequels,
her and then it's like the second episode.
What's that guy's name again? I always forget his name. The one that adopted Leia with his wife.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I know he was in Sons of Anarchy and a bunch of stuff, but I forget his name in Star Wars.
He's just like the guy that runs. He's like the president of that planet at like Alderaan or something.
Not for long.
Can you imagine I guess
10 years, Alderaan's going to be all gone.
Jesus. Yeah, but I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, it just shows him pretty much they're setting up like a big event, and they want Leia to act like a normal little girl and not a tomboy like she is acting like. So it sets up that, and then does she get kidnapped in the first episode or second episode?
Yeah,
I watched them together, so I don't remember.
The second one she got kidnapped.
All right, yeah, and then he help me, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope, pretty much.
Really quick though, before she got kidnapped, when they had that ballroom dinner thing where she's meeting all
with her cousin,
she like destroyed that kid. By the way,
her cousin.
That kid is gonna start crying, snot running down his nose. Like he just got.
And he was older than her too.
He got fed the truth because after that, like. Did I ever? I told you this. It's like that same time when that kid was like crying because he was like he felt bad.
Yeah.
So really quick story time with Alex. While I was cutting the grass, it was really hot, so I took a break and I was just drinking my water.
I know right now Andrew's laughing his ass off that you're telling the story, and it's probably good he's on mute.
Really quick, I was taking a break, looking at my phone. I had headphones on, and I turned it off, and I turned down the sound so I can still hear outside. My neighbor walks past me with her kids, and the son points at me and says, "Mommy, look how big he is!" And I did this. I was like, I looked at him. I stared him down. As he kept walking, and he was like, and he held onto his mom, and he like looked away, and they kept walking, and then I kept like mowing my lawnmower, and I was like, "Fucking little shit." And the next day, I hear like a ding dong, like someone's at my door, right?
Is that what
And
your
it's
doorbell sounds like?
no,
Hey,
it's
ding
like
dong.
yo ding dong.
I walk away for
And
2 minutes and I come back to this again.
and so I open the door and it's the neighbor again, and she's brought her son, and I'm like, "Can I help you?" And she says, "Oh, one sec." She says, "Yes, my son has been crying nonstop last night because he couldn't stop thinking about you and about what he said. And I told him, if you want to apologize, you apologize to his face." And I was like, "Yeah, you apologize to my fucking face." And so he's like, and so the kid comes up to me and he's like, still like, "I'm sorry, I called you fat and big." And I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't say that to someone out loud in public where he can hear you. And he's just like, I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, okay, fine. I accept your apology. Get out of here, you little rascal, you little shit, you little fucking.
You little fucking.
And so, yeah, it's just like that. Like, I inflicted that same amount of despair into that person as Leia did to to her cousin. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh my
that's
god.
pretty much what leads her to run away that time she gets kidnapped because they want her to say sorry. And she's like, okay, I'll say sorry. And then she just runs away.
Can we take a quick break?
And we're back. So, Alex, you just told a pretty personal story.
I mean, it's a funny story. I don't mind sharing that. Listen,
Yeah, it is really funny.
there's some stories I don't want to share with my fans.
Like, which ones? Tell them right now.
I'm gonna go by title. Like, I don't want to tell anybody about the sponge story, and I don't want to tell anybody about the doily story. Those are two personal ones. All right.
Doily and what's with the household fucking item?
That's
I
for
don't
me
want
to
to tell him
know
about
and
the
for
sponge
my
or the
fans to
doily.
never
It's
find
for
out.
him and all of his friends to know. No one else. All right, so yeah, so at that point in the story, her parents tell her that she has to say sorry to her cousin, even
And
though
she
she's
like
smarter than him.
completely rips him apart and just destroys him.
Yeah. But they're like, you have to say sorry, and she just like at first she's like, no, and then she's like, oh, okay, you're right, I'll say sorry, but then she just fucking dips.
I
Goes
love
runs in the Elrond
characters.
forest.
I love characters like that where they're young, but because they're in the position where they are going to be like the future figurehead of like a nation, they're very mature for their age. So it's
But
like,
also not.
no, I think she's very mature. I think she's okay. The only thing that's not mature about her was how she's like, "Can you make me float?" It's like, bitch, you're trying to be incognito right now. Like, you're asking
Yeah.
Obi-Wan to make you float? Like, you crazy? But
Yeah,
then she does shit that Obi-Wan's like, maybe are you 10? You don't act like you're 10.
Yeah, like there's times where she's like very mature, but then like yeah, when she's with Obi-Wan and they're running away from the Inquisitor, she goes to like instant like 5-year-old. Like, what's happening?
I think like the mentality of a child is that you literally met a space wizard. Of course, you kind of want him to make you float.
Well, she does, or he does when she almost dies.
He really had to think. Do I really want to expose myself for this whole shit?
Yeah. Well, okay, so yeah, we skipped ahead of it. So whatever, she gets kidnapped by Flea, and then her dad reaches out to Obi-Wan, even though Obi-Wan's like, nah, I can't do that. Sorry. I'm watching the boy. They're like, the boy has a sister too. Someone has to watch over. So whatever, he goes, and they tell him what's going on, and then he goes, do we know what planet that is? Where he goes to
It's
find her?
just some generic like you shouldn't have come here kind of planet,
Oh, you know
like
the young girl on the street, not young, she's like 20 something with like the pink mullet that he talks to.
yeah, the spice seller, yeah.
Yeah, that's Ewan McGregor's daughter in real life.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which after her or before her, I don't remember. You see the clone trooper, like homeless man, on the side. It's all played by the same actor, which I think is funny.
Have you ever noticed a common theme or trope in like sci-fi kind of worlds where, or even like worlds like just in the future vaguely, that anything that's in dealing with drugs, it's always like a spice. It's always like a
In
like
Dune and Star Wars, it's always spice.
yeah, even not even in Star Wars and in like any sci-fi, it's always been like spice that they inhale that's like a drug. And I'm wondering where did that come from? Like why
I think
spice?
Dune is literally the first one.
You think Dune started it all?
I'm pretty sure the book, like the Dune books, call it spice before anything else called it like a space drug spice.
Yeah,
we actually have a real drug. We actually have a real drug called spice too.
I think it's after those.
Maybe it's like the
Well,
synthetic marijuana.
is it like a powder, like a dust, like that you can actually do that, like, because when Obi-Wan uses a spice, he literally throws it. It's like a smoke screen, and he like made everyone in that room high.
Yeah, which was pretty fucking awesome.
He's like, that's a very nice, a good thing that drug dealer gave me a free sample, or else I would have been in a sticky wicket.
Why do you always say that? I mean, because it's funny because it's Star Wars, but now Wicket's an actual character. So I'm just picturing a sticky Ewok.
Sticky Ewok. No, just like I think I heard you say it one time, and I kind of thought that was kind of remotely humorous.
Oh, because I said it's remotely. Anyways,
I make it better.
Yeah, so whatever. They know Obi-Wan's on that planet. They're looking for him. How does he get Leia again? I'm blanking on that. Like, how does he find them?
He finds that fake Jedi that's by that comedian or the guy who
was in Eternals.
Eternals, yeah. I love that guy, by the way. He's like, I am now invading your mind. You're now invading my mind. It's just like, if I was Obi-Wan, I don't think I'd be able to put up with his bullshit. I think I would just been like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. Just like force slap him. Just be like, you're not a Jedi. Like, I'm a real fucking Jedi, okay? But yeah, so he goes to him, and then he gives him some info on like where he could find Leia, and then, but I think he gets sold out because when he gets there, they were like waiting for him, like they knew that he was.
They knew he was coming because that was kind of
that's right. That's the whole point of like why they stole Leia in the first place. They didn't want to they didn't ransom her. They wanted to hold on to her so that
so to lure him in because they knew he would come.
So he finds her, and then obviously, I kind of like watching Obi-Wan fight without his lightsaber, like how he went through the because obviously like the smugglers were hiding behind some sort of like butcher shop or something. And then he's trying to go into be like incognito, and they're like, "Hey, you don't work here!" And then he just like beats them up like martial, like a CQC style or whatever.
Yeah,
and I always find it I love watching people who are normally like fighting with like swords and stuff like that, use guns. It's just kind of like seeing.
He was good with them though.
Yeah, you should have seen him fucking shoot General Grievous in the chest.
Yeah. Well, even in the third episode, he shoots some people when they're on that bus that was a trap.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, even though he's like out of practice, he's still got the moves. And he gets Leia, and Leia's like, I don't know, I kind of like her, but like you said, she's kind of like an annoying brat at times.
That's what I mean, like, just like really when they're getting chased. That's probably the only time she was kind of annoying. And she starts to, how do I know you're not a bad guy? What do you mean? You've been with him for almost a whole day.
Exactly, and he's like not murdered you right off the bat.
I think they just set that up though, so he can save her life with the Force, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you are trustworthy."
There are some things that's like, yeah, she's done moments where it's like she's actually smart, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I trust." Like, she's understanding, and like she realizes that like he's here to help. There are some things where she's like, "How do you put two to two together?" Because like there's one where it's like, why does that bounty hunter have your face? It's like, it makes sense now. They kidnapped me not because of me, but to get to you. It's like, how did you put that together so quickly? Like, in my mind, if I'm a daughter of like a president of the entire planet, you'd think that people kidnapped you because they want a ransom, right?
Yeah.
But she took this whole portrait of him being wanted and him rescuing her as like, oh, they're not after me. They're really after you. I was like, I wouldn't even put that together. I would just still think they would be after me or something. And you're just here to rescue me, but you're also like a badass wanted person.
Right, what happened? Okay, so they're running. He does the Force. When does the Inquisitor die? Because I'm blanking on that.
And then later in the episode, they kind of like they do the whole like John Wick thing where Obi-Wan's like now hunted by every single mercenary. I love seeing mercenaries, by the way, like how crazy and zany they're. Like one's like a straight up just gator. I kind of like that. It's just cool. He's just a gator, and it seems like they always have like the worst name ever when it comes to like shooting main characters.
Oh yeah,
but
every time.
So the gator, the robot, and the Inquisitor are all on like Obi-Wan's ass, and Leia they're on the rooftops, by the way. Then Leia falls, and then he uses the Force to rescue her. Now this is a really bad cut, by the way, because he's on the roof. Leia falls. She lays down, and as she's getting up, Obi-Wan just happens to be on the bottom floor immediately, and is like, "Are you okay, Leia?" I was like, "Aren't you being chased? Aren't you on the top of a roof? How are you down here so fast?" You know what I mean?
Jumped.
No, he didn't. He walked on the other corner of the alley. It's like clear.
Well, remember this only happened once in I think Phantom Menace, but the Jedi speed run. Remember that?
So he ran down 50 stairs.
Yeah.
Like fucking what's his name? The guy that's like the
Flash?
nostalgia critic. No, not the nostalgia critic. It's,
Sonic.
Linkara. No, you guys never watched Linkara. Linkara's intro is that he's literally just like he's just running like this, like the Flash.
You mean Sonic?
No. What? Anyway, so he rescues her, but then obviously he's still trying to escape. But the Inquisitors are like they know Obi-Wan's there, so they like lock down all the transports. And then that what's his name, the fake Jedi comes up. He's like, I'm not here to kidnap you or whatever again. I'm here to help because I fuck up. I'm not going to change that, but I can make a difference now. And so he like says like go to this port. It'll take you like far away, and it's like away from all these like mercenaries and Inquisitors. And then they're like, why should we trust you? This whole like episode's like, why should I trust you? Why should I blah blah blah?
Yeah, pretty much because Obi-Wan hasn't been in the game for a while.
Yeah, and also he's kind of like hunted. So he's kind of like hunted like his whole life. So it's like I can kind of understand why he's like that. But yeah, then they go to the port, and then that's when the Inquisitors show up, and that's when the Grand Inquisitor's like, "You're not gonna take Obi-Wan. I am. You don't think I don't see this?" And then she's like, "Fuck you," and he got, and then he dies. And then she's all like,
that happened, and it's like you don't
he's dead.
See like that?
It's like the most dead a person can be when they get stabbed by a lightsaber.
Yeah, you don't see it coming either. Yeah, because it's the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. That's what I thought. I was like, is there another one or something? Because I thought he's supposed to live.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So it seems like.
But that's another thing too. Like that brings up to like why these guys suck. Like two of them had Obi-Wan cornered, and he's like literally behind a box. And if they didn't kill each other, he just like wouldn't be able to escape. And I think it's funny that like he's on the plane, and she's like, open this door. Like you have force powers. Like open that door yourself or something, man. Like
I think about that a lot too during Star Wars, but like it's plot, so whatever.
Like but if it was Vader would have caught that entire jet and brought it back down because that's how strong he is. So it's like
speaking of Vader, let's get to the third episode.
You want to go straight to okay?
That's the most eventful, I feel.
Yeah, that was really good. So the third episode, Obi-Wan literally has a panic attack because he like realizes that Anakin. Can you imagine? You cut
I think someone's dead for 10 years.
You cut this guy's arms and legs, and then some bitch tells you that she's alive, and he's alive, and he is pissed. I'd probably be shitting my pants too if I was Obi-Wan.
Yeah. And well, there's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
For him to comprehend, somebody thinks dead for 10 years. You're watching his kid to make sure they're okay because you feel bad about what you did to him, and then.
I'm sorry, I made you a chicken nugget, dude. Extra crispy.
I don't know. And then so like him and Leia are on this
planet, just a planet.
Yeah.
And then they meet the mole man.
They meet the mole, pretty much a mole man.
He's like, "Where you headed?"
And he just seems so nice, but then as soon as he gets to the one part,
it's funny how like
I thought you'd be interested in these guys.
It's funny because it's like he's such a nice guy, but then he's literally fascist. He's got like the Empire like symbols, like everything's just better when the Empire is here. It's like, oh yeah, love the Empire. And so they make it to the checkpoint, and it's just like, where are you heading? And it's like, oh, we're going back to our farm. We were just going to visit my wife's graveyard, and it's just like he obviously.
And then the second time he says they have family there.
Mm-hmm. And then he slips up and says like, I thought you said her name was whatever. Why'd you call her Leia? And they're like, and then they're kind of like fucked up. And
he said, "Oh, that was my wife's name, and every time I look at her, I see my wife, and I kick whatever."
Yeah, believable, kind of sus, but
yeah.
And so that scene where shit hits the fan and they're like shooting lasers at each other was pretty dope. Again, stormtroopers can't shoot for shit, but they can. They are good at one thing out of any one other character in the show. They are a lot better at dying, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And so
they always have interesting deaths.
We're finally at the part that I love. This is like my second favorite thing in the whole show was just how this one stormtrooper fell. He got shot, like he's dead, but as he falls on this like laser fence, and it cuts him. Like you see the whole thing, it cuts him in half, and it's so good.
It's perfect.
It's just, I was laughing because it's like out of all the things to cut him in half that we get to see, it was a fence, because you never really see like lightsabers cut people in half, besides obviously Darth Maul
and people's limbs
and Dooku's head, but like
people's limbs. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Luke's hands,
this is like
Anakin's hands,
clear, like
legs,
diagonal,
arms.
like cut in
No,
half.
yeah, this is
like,
just a cut right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. I loved it. And then after that, it's kind of came out of nowhere. Like reinforcements come, but then the lieutenant just so happens to be like on his side. Like, what are the chances of that?
No, she was the person he was supposed to meet. But
Oh,
remember, because they went to go meet someone and they didn't show up, but that girl showed up, and then she saw what was happening, so she went to go help because she was dressed up as an Empire whatever soldier or sergeant, and she ends up helping them and taking them to that town to hide.
And so they hide there, and then every Inquisitor shows up, all these stormtroopers. But then I love when they do like the subtle, like you hear in the distance the.
Yeah, they do that all the fucking time. They just know how to get us
it.
going.
I love it so much, though. That's the one like thing that they always do that I don't mind. They
Always.
repeat. Like I don't like the whole. I have a bad feeling. I hate
That's overdone.
That's been overdone like so many times. But the Vader, like you can only hear his breathing part. That's just like that's the only way I feel like you have to introduce
What do you think's better, the hallway scene or Vader walking down the street?
Vader walking down the street.
It was a lot slower, but it was a lot more brutal.
Any scene with like Vader is always.
Well, that's what I mean. The hallway scene with him in Rogue One or this.
Oh,
I like this better.
This is better because it's more personal. Like that's just him mowing down like a bunch of rebels. But this is like you can tell like he's ready to murder this man.
My favorite part of that whole walk down the street is he's walking down and people are like, whatever. He grabs someone, chokes them. He's choking them. Their son or their friend comes outside. Like, oh no, don't do that. Just breaks their neck without even fucking acknowledging them. Then drops the guy he's choking to live with that.
Well, when you've killed like a kindergarten full of kids, like like everything else just seems kind of like simple, like
He just keeps up. He's literally like a horror villain. He's like Jason. He just keeps showing up though.
Yeah,
once Obi-Wan gets,
he's more terrifying than like Jason. He's someone that you can't really stop, even more than Jason, because he's like got like all this like magical space wizard powers. And
that's what I mean, because he's just like Obi-Wan's running from him, and then he's just in front of him. Obi-Wan gets away from him. Oh, there's Darth Vader again.
Like I get that Obi-Wan's scared, but man, he was like a bitch this episode. Like,
well, you gotta think of it. It was his best friend that he mutilated, thought was dead, and now you're seeing him in front of you, and you've never seen him look like this before. This is the first time he's ever seen Darth Vader. Imagine the first time you've ever seen Darth Vader. Imagine you did something to me, and you thought I was dead for 10 years, and I just show up looking like Darth Vader, like the biggest comeback story there ever was, ready to fucking kill you.
I'd be like, hey, John, remember the Nintendo Wii? Sounds like Nintendo Weed.
And then I'd cut you in half.
And you'd be like, that's the lamest joke ever.
I should have killed you the first time I heard it.
But when they fought, like you can kind of tell that Vader's just like, he knows that Obi-Wan's like, man, Obi-Wan, you're like really a bitch. I'm just doing this. And you're like, not even like, and it almost seems like Vader's like really disappointed at how weak Obi-Wan became, because Vader only got stronger with the hatred that he has, while Obi-Wan like kind of like just became this like, you can see he's past his prime.
Oh yeah,
like he can't.
He's gonna get it back, because we know he teaches Luke and how powerful Obi-Wan is then.
Yeah, but
he loses to Vader then too. But
yeah.
He kind of does it himself.
He offers himself, yeah.
Yeah.
But he definitely. I think the third Sith movie, like the third Star Wars
Revenge
movie, is definitely his like his prime, like his strongest he'll ever be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. He was pretty strong in like New Hope.
He did like a couple swings. What do you mean?
Yeah, but for like a 9-year-old man.
Anyway, and then like Vader's like, he realizes that like he can just fuck with Obi-Wan, so I love this part. This is like, I was laughing when this was happening. He force chokes him. Bring up the pictures, by the way. Like,
yeah.
So he force chokes him, and then there's like gasoline on the sand, and he like lights up the gasoline with his saber, and he's like, "You like what?" He said like something like, "You will feel the same pain as I felt." Pretty much.
You caused me or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. and he just drags him into the fire. I was like, holy shit! Like he's in the fire. Like he's
not for like a little bit either. He's in there for a bit.
Yeah, like he's cooking. Like I'm surprised his clothes weren't.
Well, he
like,
was burning
on fire.
on the one arm or the one whole side that was being.
No, but he was like in fire. Like he was in fire though. Like that's like, and it's just I can only imagine the satisfaction Anakin's having by roasting his friend, like what he did to him, and it's just like, and then I looked away, by the way, because I was doing other things while I had the TV on, and I looked away, and he like escaped, and I had to go back, and it's just like, the stormtroopers show up, and they're like, "You just take this fucking trash. I'll deal with it later." Yeah. And then she saves Obi-Wan by what was it? She lit up the gasoline again, and then it
caused it to lead.
But at the same time, it's like I feel like Vader could walk on fire at this point, and not get burned. Like
his legs aren't real.
Exactly. So I feel like there's nothing stopping Vader. It almost feels like these Sith, like these Inquisitors or Sith, almost like the hunt in a way. Like they don't ever want to actually catch their prey, because then when you do, then it's like, what's next? You know what I mean? But that episode, that was really good. Like I wasn't expecting Vader to show up this early, because how many episodes are in the season?
6. So we're halfway done already.
Okay, so
they got the main story out in the open now, so who knows what's going to happen now.
Mm-hmm. That was definitely easily the best out of the 3 episodes we watched.
Oh yeah. All right, I got some bring up some shit. Okay, whatever. Leia in this show knows him as Ben Kenobi, but clearly hears multiple people call him Obi-Wan. But in The New Hope, she doesn't. She's talking to him like she's never met him before. When she's saying, "Obi-Wan, Hope, my father told me of someone named Obi-Wan that worked or was in the Clone War with him." So she doesn't even know who he is in New Hope.
Well, again, like I don't think
because she's supposed to be 10 in that show, so that's old enough to have memories.
You have to remember, I don't think they had any foresight that we're gonna.
No, I know what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. They didn't go with canon unless they're trying. I don't know what they're trying to do.
They're trying to make money, John. That's the easiest answer.
I get that, but like you could have at least. It's an easy. This is Ben Kenobi.
There's no like trying to figure this out. You have to understand that the basic reason for why humans do anything is for money.
No, I know, but you usually have to go canon so people don't fucking kill you on the internet.
You think they care what they think, what's canon or not at this point?
I do, Alex.
I know you do. That's the problem. You're the fan. You're the consumer.
I personally don't care, but it would just be like, oh, you guys aren't even trying to make it seem like.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Can you imagine if like because of that they like reshoot some scenes to like make it more like another like. Because how many
just
times
in The New Hope they add, he helped me from getting kidnapped once.
Just like, yeah, it's like, how many times did the Star Wars A New Hope get redo? Because it had like the CGI remix, or they have like the whole like.
I think there was like one in the 90s and one in the 2000s.
Yeah, and you can't even watch like the original one.
I have the originals.
Yeah, you have like not only the original one, you have like a combined version of like.
I have a combined version that someone from like Germany or I think made that combined like all the best qualities of the original one mixed together, and I have the originals on VHS and Laserdisc.
We watched it and it was really good. I like.
Yeah, because the one that they mixed everything together, they upscaled it to 1080p, so it looks really nice.
Yeah,
because the originals never made it past DVD. I don't think. I think there's one DVD set that have the original like cut of it, and that's it.
Yep. I mean, other than that, it's like I can't really think of anything else that's worth bringing up.
Wait, what do you want to see? What do you want to see in these next 3 episodes? Because we're going to talk about this again when we're done the series. So let's see if we get some predictions right.
I definitely want to see Darth Maul somehow.
We're not. They've already said we're not. Because they were going to do the whole story with Darth Maul, but then Dave Filoni, I think his name is. I don't remember. No, not Dave Filoni. I don't remember. The guy who did the Clone Wars, he's like, he's doing this show. He's like, I literally already did that storyline in the Clone Wars where they meet again. So he's like, why would I need to do it in live action when this is all canon?
Yeah, true. In that case, I probably would want to see. I want to see more Kid Luke. I want to see like what his life.
We might. We see a lot of Leia. I don't know. I think I'm surprised we haven't seen any Yoda. Because Yoda's still alive.
He's in like the swamp world. Like,
yeah, but you'd think that Obi-Wan might be like, Yoda, they want me to go fucking help Leia's gone or whatever.
100% what's gonna happen. Well, if they're smart, 100% what's gonna happen is Qui-Gon's gonna teach Obi-Wan how to be a ghost when he dies, because that's the whole point of.
Yeah, because he knew instantly.
Yeah.
Because when Obi-Wan died, he pretty much was like when Luke landed on Yoda's swamp planet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He knew how to be a Force ghost.
I don't know if you ever watched like the Clone Wars CGI, but Yoda had to go through like this whole. He had to go through an entire planet and like had to fight his dark side just to learn how to like use this like ability to be a ghost spirit.
Yeah.
And it's like Qui-Gon, he never completed it, so he's only a voice. He doesn't have his body.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan and Yoda have bodies, and then apparently so does Anakin, but he never went through the same training too. Because I doubt Anakin even understands the concept of being a spirit when you're dead. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, like he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like not only that, but he gives himself the young body too. So it's just like
yeah, I don't know. I think we're definitely seeing Qui-Gon.
Yeah. Oh, if they're smart, then yes, we would see Qui-Gon
because they teased it so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So kid Luke, Qui-Gon, more Vader. That's about all I would.
We're definitely gonna see more Vader. I think there's a chance we could see Yoda.
Maybe like a little.
Because how many Jedis do we know of that are alive at this time? Obi-Wan and Yoda.
Ahsoka.
She's technically, but I don't think Obi-Wan knows her. Ahsoka, Yoda, Grogu. No, Grogu.
Are those video games that we played canon?
I think they're supposed to be. So then you got Cal Kestis.
Mm-hmm.
No, that Cal Kestis is after the original trilogy, and this is 20 years before, or 10 years before the original trilogy started.
No.
So Cal Kestis would have been like a child.
Game.
Yeah, because it happened.
You just said.
Oh no, sorry, it happened right before those. It's supposed to be like right before Luke and Leia, like they're older. It's after this, but before the trilogy. Sorry, it's in between them.
I forget if the Force Unleashed games are canon or not. I don't believe.
I don't think they are anymore. They used to be.
But I think at one point they were, but then they retconned it.
Yeah. Well, they're bringing a lot of stuff back, like weird, like in one by one.
Yeah, there are not like memorable Jedis, but I think there are a few that were stranglers.
Yeah. All right, Alex, you got anything else to say? Predictions for the next three?
Let's give this the final verdict.
Yeah. I think it's better than Boba Fett so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's you didn't like Boba Fett. I like Boba Fett.
I like Boba Fett. I just didn't like it as much as Mandalorian or this.
Okay. Well, I give this I probably give Obi-Wan like a 7.5.
Yeah, I was just gonna say probably 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Out of 10. That's good.
Seems about the most like modest score you can give something.
Yeah.
That's like not like crazy insanely good, but still like enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see you later, guys. We're gonna bring back.
Thank you guys for watching our podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Follow our Twitch and Instagram, and what else?
And Patreon. Facebook. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the last 3 episodes of Obi-Wan when they're out. We're gonna do 3 at a time, so we don't have to.
And if you liked what you see, tell a friend, and see you next time.
Chat you later.